Hey guys, this is math day 4, and so today in math what we're going to be doing is dividing whole numbers. So you'll notice at the top they have you doing the standard algorithm, but remember it's not required. Some of y'all were able to pick it up, some of y'all weren't. So what we're going to do for practice is the sticks and disc. So I'm going to do a few of them with you, and then you'll do the rest on your own. So I'll do these first 3 together with you, and then the next page you will do on your own, and then I will do probably number 1 and number 7 with y'all, and then you'll do the rest of the word problems on your own. Alright, so starting off, number 1, we have 550 divided by 5. Well, in this problem, we need to set it up in our house. So on my scratch paper, we have 550 divided by 5. So outside the house, we'll have 5, and inside the house, we have our larger number, which is 550. Remember to spread your digits up so that you have room to split your place values. So now, what are we going to do? We are going to divide by 5, which means we're going to count by 5. So, can 5 go into 5? Yes. When we count by 5, we know that 5 can go into 5 one time. So, what are we going to write at the top? 1. We don't have anything left over, so we can move to our next place value. Can 5 go into 5? Yes. We know that when we count by 5s, it can go in one time. So again, we'll write 1 at the top. Can 5 go into 0? No. When we go to count by 5, we will never get to 0. So what has to go at the top? A 0. And most of y'all will forget that. A lot of y'all will tell me that the quotient is 11 instead of 110. And you'll notice that we don't have any remainders, so our remainder would be 0. So in the blank, we will write 110, remainder 0. Alright, let's check out number 2. Now we have 249 divided by 3. So again, in our house, we need the big number, which is 249. And we are dividing that by 3. I'm going to split it up so that I can divide by each place value. So, can 3 go into 2? No. When I count by 3s, I will not get to 2. So what has to be written at the top? A 0. However, I still have 2 discs left over. Well, can I have 2 discs left over in the hundreds place? No. So I have to regroup them and bring them over. So that's 2 10. So that's 10, 20 coming over to join the 4. And so 20 plus 4 is 24. So now we're going to count by 3s. Can 3 go into 24? Yes, but let's see how many times. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So it came out to be even, so let's see how many groups we made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means at the top we will write 8. And lastly, we didn't have anything left over, so now we just need to ask ourselves, can 3 be divided into 9? Yes, so let's count by 3s. 3, 6, 9. Again, it went in evenly. How many times? 1, 2, 3. So at the top we would write 3. So what is our quotient? What is 249 divided by 3? Our quotient is 83. So in our blank, we would write 83. All right, I'm actually going to skip number 3 because it's a lot like what we just did with 249 divided by 3. And so what I want you to do is to complete the rest of this page. Make sure you have some scratch paper, guys, so that you have room to work these out how you should. Same thing with this next page. Now, some of y'all may be able to split up these place values, but I don't want you to be writing so small that you can't see what you're doing. So if you need an extra piece of loose leaf or paper or whatever you have at home, go ahead and grab that to do it. All right, moving on to word problems. So this is division word problems. Again, you will need a piece of loose leaf or scratch paper for this because you're not going to have enough room to draw your picture, write your number sentence, and write your statement. Remember, we always want to practice our RDWW. So whenever we read, we want to read the whole question first, and then we're going to go in and chunk it. Number 1 says Maria needs 42 buttons. Each package contains 6 buttons. How many packages does she need? So now I can chunk. It says Maria needs 42 buttons. So what can I draw from that? Well, I have 42 buttons. So over here, I'm going to draw a box. And I'm going to put 42 in it. Now this is how much she needs. So if she needs it, is that going to be a part or a whole? Well, if she just needs 42, we know that that's going to end up being our whole. So then it says each package contains 6 buttons. So here's that word each again. And we know each means 1. So one package, here's package 1, contains how many? 6 buttons. And we want to know how many packages does she need. So here, we don't know what to multiply by. We're trying to figure out, well, how many packages will she actually need? So in this case, you can see that we need to do what? Divide. So we are dividing 42 divided by 6. And this one shouldn't really take you any work because it should be a simple math fact. What is 42 divided by 6? Or what can you multiply times 6 to get to 42? Well, you should know that that is 7. So our quotient is 7. So now I can write my statement. How many packages does she need? Maria needs 7 packages, period. Okay? Now, this tape diagram I know looks like the multiplication ones that we did. However, when you multiply, you're solving for your total. When you divide, it's already giving you the total. So that's the big difference between the two. All right, let's look at number 7. Bob has 240 tires to sell at his shop. If each customer buys 4 tires, how many customers will he need to buy all 240 tires? So let's chunk it. First part is Bob has 240 tires to sell at his shop. So we can draw out a box with 240. Now we have to recognize if this 240 is a whole or if it's a part. Well, at his shop, he only has this many tires to sell. So is he getting any more tires right now? No. And then the question says how many customers will he need to buy all 240 tires? So again, the question is saying too that this 240 is going to end up being your total. So we had 240 tires. It says if each customer buys 4 tires. So here's that word each again. Remember, each means one. So they're saying that one customer buys how many tires? 4 tires. So I need to put 4. The question wants to know how many customers. So we have to figure out how many customers will he need to sell all 240 tires. Well, since we know the total and we know the size of the group and we have to figure out the number of groups, we're going to need to divide. And what are we going to divide by? 240 divided by 4. Now this one is a little bit trickier. If you know your zeros trick, you'll know this one right off the bat. If you don't, then we'll set it up. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one up. We have 4 into 240, and we're going to split it up. Can 4 go into 2? No. So a 0 goes at the top, but we still have 2 left over. We can't have 2 left over here, so we have to bring it over to the 4. When we do that, the 4 will become 10, 20, plus 4 more, which is 24. Now can 4 go into 24? Yes. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. It went in evenly, and it went in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So at the top we would write a 6. And then can 4 go into 0? No. So at the top we have to put a 0, and there's nothing remaining, so our remainder would also be 0. So 240 divided by 4 is equal to what? 60. So 60 would be our quotient. So let's write that as a statement. How many customers will he need to buy all 240 tires? Bob will need 60 customers to buy all 240 tires. Alright, so I want you to do the same process with the rest of these word problems. And in the blanks, guys, you can just put the statement if you want, or the answer. I'm going to go ahead and put the statement. Maria needs 7 packages. And then over here we'll say Bob will need 60 customers. Okay. Alright guys, go ahead and get started.